Hey everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful, Tuesday afternoon. This is Josh, SNE Weather. I just want to give you guys an update. I just want to first apologize for the delay. I know I said I was going to post it this morning, but there was technical issues with the Patreon app and I wasn't able to get certain things on and just a lot of issues that was taking place. So now I'm able to get on to the site again and I am instead of posting a regular post, I'm going to do a video for you. And let's get to it. So here's our storm system right here. And before we get into this, let me just show you this. So the National Weather Service has issued a winter weather advisory for this area here, southern Bristol. That would be New Bedford, Fall River, Somerset, I believe would be in there. And it goes into southern Plymouth and all of Cape Cod, Nantucket, and Martha's Vineyard. So they're believing that that area that I just outlined again, that's in the blue, they're expecting to be 2 to 4 inches of snow. Now, there's also another area I want to outline, and that's this area that's in here, that's inside, that will like schmagma of a cone. They're expecting about 1 or 2 inches of snow. So there is something else. Now I look at this, actually, when people look at this, they're like, oh yeah, winter weather advisory, hazardous weather outlook. Okay, cool. Well, there's something else, and it's this. This is a storm warning. That's saying what the National Weather Service is saying that, hey, we are not expecting our storm system to really fully develop until it gets out over here in the open Atlantic, south of like Nova Scotia and Newfoundland. Newfoundland looks like they're going to get pummeled by this system. So let's go back to that weather radar. So you can see that our storm system is beginning to develop right here. And the way we know that is because all of a sudden you start seeing an area of convection starting to take place off the coast, and you can see this area starting to peter out. Let's go a little further. This is 6 hours from now. And as I said, that area is petering out, and then you see this. Now, there's another picture I want you to see. This is what I like to call the kick. This is moving this way. That's moving this way. That's kind of almost like a frontal boundary. This is what's going to energize all of this into a monster storm for Newfoundland. So let's go further in time. And you can see that we are seeing some little more showers and not thunderstorms, but you can see just heavier precip overall starting to form. And we go further, and you can see our low pressure is starting to develop right there. That's interesting because the benchmark is pretty much right here. This is like just north of the benchmark. And my question is how much more is this going to intensify before it finally goes? And you can see now, I look at this and I say, oh, like that's starting to show. See that? You're starting to see the banding, a band trying to take place. The band's gonna make it. Sorry, I don't know where that came from. But anyways, you can kind of see, these little frontals starting to take place. You can start seeing a warm front trying to come in. Very interesting scenario. And look, you can see it's really starting, and now it's starting to look better organized. And we'll go further, and look at that. That's what you want to see right there. Something like that. Now you're seeing the banding finally taking place, and that frontal boundary is pretty much right there. So the storm is starting to really intensify. Well, because I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow, sometime in the afternoon, it starts getting really windy and everything like that because of that. So let's go back in time. And one of the features that I'm interested in seeing what ends up being the outcome is right around here. You know, it looks like low pressure is really developing right there. You can see a little bit of some fieriness to it. Starting to see some storms, maybe thunderstorms developing right there. Very interesting scenario to say the least. Move it forward, and you can see right there you got some more reds trying to come in. You know, getting some good size either snow or rain, whatever the precip type ends up being. Now, another feature that I also want to show, let me get rid of that thing there, is right here. It looks like a band. It really does look like some bands. Like it's like a band wants to develop here. Like that to me looks like a band is really trying to develop. But it's like I was saying over the last few days is, you know, there's going to be some dry air in the area. And I think it's really like making it peter out, like kind of feathery. I can't even say it right. And that's why I'm having a hard time with this system is, you know, and then you see this, look, and this is like totally proves my theory of banding is taking place because all of a sudden it starts blowing up right off the coast here. See that? And the reason why that's happening is because the ocean is aiding in with the intensification. So my thinking is right now is that if you're close to the coast, you may see some heavier snowbursts. But if you're inland, like let's say like an area like here, don't be surprised if it's just, you know, snow showers and light snow. Don't be surprised. But if you're like, you know, let's say like, we'll call it Fall River, New Bedford, Fairhaven, Plymouth, Pembroke, Weybosset, and South and East. Let's say something like that. Don't be surprised if you guys are having some heavier snows, and it might have to deal with the ocean aiding in some moisture intensification taking place. Go a little further, you know, and then all of a sudden you can see like the storm really starts wrapping up and, you know, it moves off and, you know, and it's like I said, like it does kind of look to me that this storm may end up being stronger than the models anticipated. And this is another thing you can see too. Look at this, getting some showers, some areas firing up right there. That's a sign of the colder air. Oh, let me get that thing out of there. Sorry about that. Colder air coming into the storm, and just now it's starting to really starting to fire up. Go a little further in time. Let's go back. But we'll have to watch this and see what happens, because I would be very interested if this really does end up banding and ends up forming and dry air doesn't end up being the case. All right, so right here we have the SREF, and you can see right here that it's showing about 3 to 4 inches of snowfall right in this general area. And it's very similar to that 540 line that I drew last night that was from the Euro. And it was right around here. And I think that is the case, and I think it's just going to get up to that area. And there is an area right around here of 4 inches of snow. Now, do I think the ocean's going to enhance the snow at all? I don't think so. I think it's going to be very difficult for that to happen because of the it's just not a strong storm. If you had stronger winds, I would expect more ocean enhancement, but I don't think that's going to be the case here. And this is also the SREF. This is a probability of at least 1 inch of snow. And, you know, there's a pretty good size area right here. I mean, my opinion, right now is that I do think Rhode Island should be in a winter weather advisory, maybe Kent County. I think all of Bristol County and Plymouth counties and all those areas I think should be under a winter weather advisory, but the National Weather Service are the ones that deal with those kinds of things, and I'll just leave it with them. This map, that's going by really quickly, and I do apologize. There was no way to slow it down. But this is the probability of 4 inches of snow, and it's pretty much right on that 540 line that I was speaking of. Let's see if we get this stopped right on the right mark. Nope. Well, I'm not going to waste any more time on that. So pretty much it's right around this area that has the greatest chance of 4 inches or more of snow. And it's right around 25%, which is interesting because there's an area that has a probability of 8 inches of snow. Ooh, I stopped that right on the mark. And that's right here. And that's right around about the same probability as you see the 4-inch amounts. We'll have to keep an eye on that. 8 inches of snow, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think the most that someone could get is 6 inches right now. But we'll see what happens with that. And lastly, I just wanted to show you the GFS. I found the GFS being quite the model. Back it up, and you can see right here our low pressure comes in, and you can see that this is definitely going to be inside that good old famous 2040. That's a little bit of a broken line. Let's see if we can. Oh, here we go. That's definitely inside the famous 2040. Right about there. That's traveling, definitely going to be traveling inside that line. So that, like looking at this, I would say it's traveling something like that, inside that. And if that is the case, now I will say one thing about this, that what I see in this GFS model run, number one, I don't think this is the low pressure. I think that's wrong. I think the low pressure is actually right here. And my reason for believing that is because, one, look at this. You got that coming up and you got that coming down. So I would say it's right in there. So I actually think this model is a little off. I do believe it is possible that it's elongated like you see here. See how elongated? It's not really consolidated storm. Usually when you want to see a consolidated storm, you want to see something like that. When you see a solid circle like that, you know you got yourself a good storm. This is elongated. So it's kind of like, I like to call it a crap storm in a sense. Another thing is looking at this, another feature you want to look for is there going to be dry air coming into the storm or even colder air? And, there's a couple of things that I see here and I don't agree with is, look at this. You got your red line here and you got the blue line here. Usually you don't see blue lines goes underneath a storm like that unless you're up in Iceland. So I just don't think this is an accurate portrayal. I think if you were to draw a line like this, right through that blue line right there, and then low pressure being here, I would say low pressure is like right in there. That would be the center. And this storm is not strong enough yet. I mean, 998 is decent. That's decent, but it's not strong enough yet to pull in all this moisture on the backside like it's suggesting. I just don't agree with that. Another feature that I see too is, look, you can kind of see where the dry air is going to set up right there. It's kind of so close. If I was a little further out, I could see where the possibly dry air coming in. Yeah, I would say it's like right here. You can kind of see a little bit trying to come in through here, but I would say it's our system is pretty much going to be like that. That's what I would say. Looking at this, it's like we're just like that. I would say the dry air is going to come right around the backside like that, and then you get all this moisture trying to come in through here. And let me see. Yeah, and you kind of can see it too, seeing that it's like how close these isobars, these isobars are right there. Look how close these isobars are right in here. Let's do this. You can see, look how close those are. You know, these equal lines of pressure. You know, they're very close in, and I think the reason why is because the dry air trying to come in through the backside of the system. And you kind of can see that with this right there of the colder air trying to come in. So now I do think that this moisture is too close to the low. I think it's too close. I think this is a little off. I think this area could get as far back as here. I think it's going to be a little further back. I think this model is really struggling with what the outcome of this storm is going to be. And so let's see what happens. You know, and like I said, I just think, you know, if I'm right, I think this is the 528 line right here. If that's going right through there, then there's no way in hell this right here is going to be ice, you know. I just think there's a lot of problems with this model. It's really bad. So, but anyways, so my thinking right now is this area here, pretty much a 1 to 3 inch. And I think this area here, I would put in a 2 to 4. Gotcha. I wouldn't even say isolated 4. We'll say isolated 4 here. Not exactly at that spot, but 2 to 4. I am interested in this area of an isolated 5 or even a 6-inch amount. I think that's going to be isolated there. Yeah, so that's pretty much it in a nutshell. That's my thinking for right now. Just there are some wild cards and some question marks, and I kind of showed it with this model, and that's why I used this model for that. Yeah, I just think that this moisture is just too close. I think it's too close. I think it needs to be backed up. I think it needs to be kind of like here, something like that. And yeah, I almost do something else by accident. Almost ended up became a YouTube video. But that's my thinking and that's my thought. And I just hope everybody, you know, drive safe, take precautions, and you know, and have a great rest of your afternoon. The Euro is probably out now. I'll pull some thoughts of what I think on it. Everybody have a great, wonderful rest of your day. This is Josh, SNE Weather.